Tom Mulcair absolutely embarrasses himself here he says four stupid things right in a row. Let's just listen to this. And this is in response to Carney's new budget. And let's just see what people are saying behind the scenes, like Mulcair. So we'll listen here and then analyze. Unbelievable.
Fair enough, but an accident can happen. And Elizabeth May was so categorical, and it's understandable, getting rid of the tree planting program at a time when we know that just the 2023 wildfires destroyed 8.6 billion trees. Saying that we're getting rid of a program that was seeking to put back 2 billion seems unbelievable, especially since what they're actually cutting, because a lot of it's already committed, is peanuts. So it's a signal that they're sending on the environment. Talking about getting rid of the caps on oil and gas emissions, in case carbon capture and storage works. Hey, you know what, Vashi? Trees are great at capturing carbon, but that's the thing. You know, the NDP is sort of stuck right now. They've got 7 people, and the inference that was just made with regard to the possible split. Don't forget, it's their self-description. The three women who are the three racialized women in caucus felt very hard done by when the party decided that Don Davies was the leader. I don't think that wound is healed from what I've been getting. You know, we're talking about something.
Wow, what a mouthful this guy said. Okay. So, I mean, where to even start? So, first of all, he is absolutely freaking out about cutting something about planting trees. And he's pretending he's got good analysis here. You know, he's like 8.3 billion trees, whatever. Like he's counting the trees. But he's not counting dollars and cents, which is what you're supposed to do. He says, I can't believe they're cutting this. It's saving peanuts anyway. I looked it up. The part that they're cutting, now this is in a bigger picture, but there's something about $1.3 billion. And honestly, even if it's in the hundreds of millions, whatever the number is, he's saying, you know, relative to 500 billion, it's quote unquote, his words, peanuts. But think about how terrible that is for a politician to think that way. You can imagine if he's going to have dinner, you know, with like the Canadian government endless card there where you can just eat whatever you want. He'd say, "What's a big deal if I spend $350 on a fancy steak meal with drinks for myself? I mean, it's peanuts." Well, yeah, if you think that way about like little things, then you're going to be like that all the time. Like, what's the big deal? He thinks, oh, a billion here, a billion there. What's the big deal? The other thing that then he's talking about, like, it's so important to have the trees, you know, to plant the trees. Now, I'm not one of these people that would say, I guarantee you should never plant trees with having the government do it. But if it's going to be expensive and a waste of money, I'm assuming they've done the math there, then I can imagine cutting it. He just thinks, well, if it's tree planting, like a simple mind like his in this case would say, well, it's tree planting, so that means good. Wildfires burn down trees, so therefore we have to replace them at any cost. He's not analyzing like how much is it per tree, what is that going to do, how much lumber do we get out of it, how much carbon does it capture. He's not even thinking about it. He's just like, trees are good, so we should plant them, end of story. And then he goes on talking about, did you notice this? He's talking about the NDP, who he was the former leader of. He's like, the three women, and then he corrects himself. He's like, oh, I better add the three racialized women because you get bonus points for that. And then he, you know, like for him, that's almost all you need to say. Three racialized women want something there and it costs peanuts, so therefore you should do it. That's basically the logic there. If you have racialized women, you get so many bonus points, it doesn't even matter what they want to do. And then he has like a scowl when he says, like they're even going to stop the emissions cap, or they're considering that. Well, who cares? Canada has, I already did it in another video. 1.7% of global emissions. That you know, in his words, is peanuts. That's of our entire country. We just need to follow what the big countries are doing. That's it. We don't need to do anything more. And there's no point in shooting ourselves in the foot. And we have so much oil and gas in the ground. We just have to get it out and sell it. It's already clean enough with the way we're doing it. We don't do coal. We have the cleanest LNG and everything else. Other people are going to want to use it no matter what. And we get a lot of money for this, Tom. You could even use some of it later to plant your trees if that's what you want to do. But he just thinks, oh, emissions cap. We used to have one. That's green. So let's do it. Let's just cap it out, meaning, we should um, basically an emissions cap is a production cap because they can't figure out how to do it that green. You can go towards that, but he just wants to make an emissions cap, which effectively is a production cap. And he's just like, well, we have to do that. I can't believe we're going to keep digging up oil and gas. And that's just so stupid. You lose so much money doing that. There's really no benefit. It's so tiny to do that, and yet here he is, scowling away. And I don't hate Tom about everything. Sometimes he throws some decent points in there, but man, you can see his NDP thinking, and he's not the only one coming through here. And the type of pressure that the left with this climate stuff and the racialized women stuff puts on people. It's sad, and it brings the country, it holds everybody back because they can't analyze properly. So anyway, subscribe, love to know what you think. Please comment, share, like the whole thing. We'll see you in the next one.